Okay, what I understand, Joe, is I know you call yourself a musician. I've never seen you play besides like the Zapp Awards.
That's your fault.
So, anyways, they always say like, "Oh, that guy can shred when it's a guitar. You can really shred."
Amen.
What do you call it when you're a drummer and you're really good? You can.
I say shred.
So it's shred everything.
Yeah, shred it all. Shred all the evidence.
You're shredding some vocals. You're shredding some guitar. And
shredding bass.
Bass.
Yeah, shredding drums.
That's it.
Yeah. Pounding them. I usually say pounding M, like
pounding the skins.
Apostrophe EM, pounding them, pounding the skins. It's a little, could be interpreted.
Yeah, I don't think of
pounding the skins. You don't ever do that.
I don't think of Joe Ott.
Skin pounder.
I've never seen Joe Ott when he plays. He just wears like his little underwear or whatever you're wearing
for drumming. Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, I got it.
Just big bear Joe.
I need full mobility. I need shorts on, underwear. Guitar different. I could wear jeans like a respectable looking person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ever a respectable looking person? No, I've seen you at work. Yeah. I guess. I mean, you're playing Pokemon Go, but I guess that would qualify as respectable.
I like it.
All right. Cool. Very, very nice. All right. So I thought you were going to give me something like, oh, yeah, it means this. It's just shred.
Yeah, shred it.
Now, is that what you say? Or is that
people who do snowboards and like extreme sports,
Mm-hmm.
also, that's where shredding came from, I think.
Okay.
Really? Yeah. I think so. That's
so
like
we're in like
or
like
from
surfing?
The
80s and stuff. Maybe it's from
shredding the nar. Yeah, that's where. I swear to God.
The nar.
Yeah, shredding the nar.
Because that's
waves. That's how surfers talk, I think.
Really?
Shredding in like the 80s.
Yeah.
With guitar playing.
Shredding, bro. Like when they do the pinky and thumb hand motion.
I know that, but I just thought that guy really shreds. I know a drum. I thought I'd be like, that guy really. Oh.
That's something to look up on Wikipedia, but I think shredding comes from surfing or like snowboarding or something like that.
All right. Cool. Well, anyways, let's get to the topic. Hit it, Joe. All right, guys, it's another episode of the Zapp Comic Video Podcast. I'm here with Dr. Noel, Joseph Francois III, and I am Corry. So, I saw a little break, but we're back.
Nice. What'd you do during the break? Anything good?
I didn't have a rest today. Between my kids and school and end of the year stuff, I just haven't had time.
Johnny, how many teeth you yank in the past 2 weeks since the last podcast?
A couple.
No, a couple. They
You
deserve
get bit anytime soon?
No, I haven't been bit, so that's a positive.
Yeah, Johnny gets get bits like once a year. It's great. He always posts a little picture with a little Band-Aid on his finger. half his fingers gone, or it's in the other hand. It's awesome. Listen, I want to talk about something I don't do much. Is I don't ever really binge watch shows much. If I do, it's usually a show I've already seen. So, and I noticed now the big thing is you binge watch everything.
Yeah.
The show premieres, on May 5th, and then you watch the entire series by May 6th, and it's done. And I think to me that's not as enjoyable because it's like having okay, here's all the ice cream you can eat, as opposed to we gotta wait till Friday to get ice cream. It doesn't taste as good. But there's pros and cons of it. Okay.
You would get sick if you ate all that ice cream in one shot.
Exactly.
And you also get sick from watching so much TV at one shot too.
Exactly. So if it's a show like, for example, The Office, me and my wife went back and watched The Office all over again, and I remember after Michael left. I don't know if did you watch The Office?
Here and there.
Here and there. Why are you even on here? Who invited you?
That's like a very light and easy show to watch. I would imagine if you're binging it, it's like non-threatening because if you miss a couple things, it's all right,
Okay, you not watching The Office is non-threatening. But anyways, so like The Office, I remember after Michael left, Johnny, you remember, it was kind of tough to watch sometimes with Robert California and then Will Ferrell and it seemed like, and then the whole Holly and what's her name? I forget her name. She was in Florida. Nellie.
Nellie.
It was. I remember going, I want to just not watch the show, but I had to because I still cared about the characters. So I got through it. The last 2 episodes were amazing. I'm like, sweet. So we binge watched it, just over time, whenever, like 5 to 10 episodes a night, whatever we were doing. No commercials is easy to do. And I realized when you binge watch shows like that you've already seen, the bad parts go by very fast because what seemed like these characters were on there forever, the bad characters, they were only on for like 4 episodes. But when you're watching it in real time, it's on. It might be a break.
Week of this guy.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a break and they show a rerun, so you're there sitting there for like 2 months, like, oh my god, I can't do it. When you watch it in like an hour and a half, it's gone. So that's the plus of it. The bad part of it is you miss that like there's a cliffhanger and you wait all week, like what just happened, like who's gonna die, who do you think the killer is, who do you think the mother's gonna be, and you talk about it and you get all these theories and you like wait and wait and wait when it's just right there for you. There's no, it kind of loses its luster a little bit.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying this is because I made the mistake of a few weeks back. I went to watch The Conjuring again. My wife doesn't like movies like that. She won't watch them, especially in the house. She's like, I like that stuff. It doesn't bother me, but I don't think they're really scary. I think they're suspenseful, and I think they're interesting. I don't believe in any of that stuff, but it's just fun to, like when they give something history and like whatever. So I went to watch The Conjuring, and I went to look for it on Netflix. The Haunting of Hill House came up, and I'm like, you know what? I always wanted to watch this. So I watched the first. I watched the first episode. I didn't know it was an hour long, so I watched it and I loved it.
Corry alert! He likes something.
So I watched three episodes. Right, I'm like, awesome. So I had posted on Facebook that I was watching it, and people were like, oh, you're gonna love it. This is great. And somebody's like, oh, episode 5 or 6 is one of the best episodes ever. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Now I'm like dying.
You gotta be kidding me.
So I can't watch this at night. I can't watch it during the daytime because my kids are around. My wife, she doesn't want to watch it. So I watched the next night or the night after. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and I watched the episode. Did you watch this?
I did.
Okay, the episode.
I binged it, if you will.
Are you ever gonna watch this?
I
don't want to spoil
maybe
it.
some.
Well,
It's
anyways,
okay.
there's a major.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil. There's a major episode, and you know what I'm talking about. It is ridiculous how they just tie everything in, and it is awesome. Like
Yeah.
it was. I was like, are you kidding me? So now it's like halfway through, and you're like, what is going on? So I had to watch. It was a Sunday night, and the NBA Finals were on, and the game got over like 10:40 something. From 10:40 something until like 4:30 in the morning, I watched the rest of the series. I literally watched it all. I took a shower. I took the garbage out, whatever. And I came up at around 6 o'clock, and I got my kids up for school. And my wife's like, "Where did you sleep?" I go, "Oh, I didn't." She's like, "What do you mean you didn't sleep? You didn't fall asleep in Isabella's room?" I go, "No." So I said, "I was watching." She's like, "You stayed." I said, "Honey, you don't understand. I had to watch this. I could not wait." And when I was dead tired, and I thought it was the last episode, it was episode 9. And I had to just finish it, so I did. So it was fantastic, and that's a pro of binge watching. But I think I might have enjoyed it more if I had watched it once a week, and because you can kind of dissect it more. I rewatched the first 2 episodes the other day, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even notice that the first time, because I'm just trying to power through it to get through the episodes to see what it was. But now, I think on the I know I don't watch Game of Thrones, but everybody talk, because you would just talk about it, like who's gonna die? Can you believe that this person went bad or whatever, heel, whatever you want to say. So I think on that aspect it works, but it can also kill a show if there's no suspense to it, because if you watch it, they're set up to be like you'll see be a cliffhanger, like Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things,
yeah,
but it's all sitting there for you. I think initially it would be kind of cool if you watch it every now and then, but you can't because people watch it and they spoil it the next day. The entire series.
True.
So it's not as fun.
Hulu started, they started probably with something else, but I can tell you right now, because The Handmaid's Tale Season 3 came back, and previously for other shows on Hulu, they would just dump the whole thing out there for you like Netflix, but now Hulu put the kibosh on that, and they put out 3 episodes to start with, so you're still getting more than 1 for that first release, but then after that, it's 1 a week. So they have gone back to that same format of once a week, and it's their most popular show, the most articled about show, you know what I'm saying? So,
and also it gets more life.
Well, yeah, you get a season out of it, whether it's 10 episodes, you get 10 weeks as opposed to just, you have that build up and maybe a week after where people are talking about your show, but then it just drops off, and then people on to the next thing. Before, like you said, like you can pick apart a show, or what's going to happen next week. So people are going to talk about it all week until the next thing, And
if it is really, really good, you can get a whole year or 2 out of it, as opposed to, like, say a movie is really good. That movie that comes out, it's massive for, 2 months, and then, 5 months later, it feels like it came out years ago. Because it's like, oh, that's old. You didn't see that? So a show of it, as it's going on, you break it up into seasons and space it out a little bit. And if someone who's, a casual viewer, they can just catch up and watch it at the end. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or it also gives people to catch up, because people have lives. My life isn't built to watch these things like that. I can't do it. But at the same time, I want to watch it fresh and know what's going on. But you also get to dissect it. There's something cool about because you might see something I didn't see, and you're going to tell me this whole theory, and then I'm going to say, No, you didn't notice whatchamacallit, and you're going to be like, holy crap, I didn't even notice that. Like, it was bothering me. This isn't really a spoiler, Johnny. And that the Haunting of Hill House, the kid, there's twins, okay, and the kid Kyle gets into the dumbwaiter.
Well, yeah, we talked. Yeah.
Gets into the dumbwaiter, okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. His sister's like, listen, I'm just gonna do one ride. That's it. Okay, so she hits up. They're in the kitchen, and it goes down, and she can't get it. He's got a flashlight. He's down there. Goes into the basement. It's like, oh wow, it's like a basement down here. And the first thing he says is a ladder or stairs. He's like, I see stairs. What else you see? He goes, oh, just boxes. It looks like bottles, whatever. And then all of a sudden he goes, I see something move. So he's freaking out.
Yeah.
So of course the flashlight starts flickering or whatever, and she's trying to get up. And now they're screaming.
Yeah.
And screaming, and then all of a sudden he's high pitched screaming.
Yeah.
The parents come and they finally they come up.
Yeah.
It comes up. And the problem with the house is nobody believes the kids that they see all these ghosts and whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like, I can't believe Mom and Dad didn't believe me about the basement. And then they show the Mom and Dad looking at the blueprints of the house, saying there's nowhere on this house that shows a basement. And the guy who's been taking care of the house for whatever says no basement. But the thing is, the kid went down.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? The dumbwaiter went down. When you went up there, you saw the thing coming up.
Yeah.
Where is it going? There's something down there. And if he tells you, if you say to him, aside from that monster you saw, what did you see? I saw boxes. I saw a stairs.
Yeah.
And of course, but they immediately solved it because of the girl, the sister, said, how far away do you think it was? And she went downstairs and moved something and figured it out, which anybody could have done.
Yeah.
But the thing was, they wouldn't even listen to him. Like, no, there's no basement. It's like, yeah, but I went down. Where do you think he went?
Yeah.
Like, to an incinerator? Obviously, there's something down there. That's the only thing that bothered me. And it would have been kind of neat if that was like the end of the episode and it continued on. I mean, the show was far from perfect, but I just enjoyed it. I like I like anything pre-technology. I like anything that's set in from 60s to mid 90s.
Okay.
Because that show takes place in 92. I don't like it when cell phones come in.
Well, yeah, that's I was going to say.
It kind of kills a lot of the adventure because oh, you're waiting all day. Where is he? It's like, oh, I'll just text him. That stuff's that stuff's gone now. Which is fine. Obviously, it's all convenience. But I like this stuff. That's why I like Stranger Things. It. Haunting Hill House, stuff like that. That stuff gets me interested. Paper Girls.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I like when you're interested.
Yeah, see, I'm interested in you, baby.
Well, that's the thing when they try to update some of these things for today, and you can't. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't work.
Goonies works because it's kids on an adventure.
Mm.
Harry Potter works because they're kids on an adventure. It doesn't work today because you can't really go on an adventure today like you could then because everything is
You can, but people choose not to
because
GPSs.
Well, that's
you
the thing.
satellite.
Like you didn't have a choice.
I mean, obviously, if you lose your thing, obviously it's one thing, but that has to be a setting like we're in the middle of the woods now. Because if you're stuck on the side of the street, you can just have someone call before you have to find a payphone and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie Dragnet with Tom Hanks, they're just driving around the city trying to find a payphone that's not cut.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big deal back in the day. Where's the payphone? Because some stores wouldn't let you use the phone or whatever. So there's something about having that sense of, not freedom, but kind of
detachment
from, what's there. You're like, oh, like when you debate, I hate when you ask someone oh, who do you think played this actor? And they immediately go on the phone. I'm like, no, don't.
I'm gonna check out Wikipedia.
Don't Google it. Let's figure it out. You guess, and then we'll say, oh, it was Michael Keaton, or whatever it might be.
It's a fun game.
Yeah. So that's. What do you think about binging, Joe?
Binging is cool because I'm trying to think of a good example. If you're a super fan of something, let's say DC animated universe, if Harley Quinn comes out and it's all available at one shot, I'm going to be there at midnight watching the whole damn thing, And I don't see a con for that for me, but a con for DC would be if they did that, is that everybody's going to watch the whole thing in one big chunk. They're going to talk about it, like Johnny was saying, for 1 or 2 days if you're lucky. All the articles, written about it, if you're looking at it from a critical standpoint, are all going to be made in that 1 or 2 days after it's released. And then radio silence forever because no one's going to continue. It's old news, like you said. It's all gone. Everybody's consumed the whole thing. They've regurgitated it and reconsumed everybody's criticism of it again, and it's not to be talked about again. So that's the big con that I have with binge watching, is that it's not coming back unless it was really, really good and it warrants a couple rewatchings. Like Haunting of Hill House, I had to watch that twice because there's a lot of stuff in
but
there.
there's all those little hidden ghosts you try and find, and also like when you're watching certain, like because you're looking at it differently, obviously, like and then you see things that you didn't really see the first time because you're just watching it. Like when my problem was with Star Wars, I watched them so much. Jonny probably has the same problem. I never watched the movie. I would just look in the background to see, like, there's that character that's in for 3 seconds, or like I never noticed that. There's a stormtrooper over there, or whatever. And you look for the creatures in Jabba's palace. I never watched the movie. So when I watched, like, the new ones came out, I wasn't watching it. I was watching, like, the background to see, like, where's E.T. in the movie, or, if they threw in, like a Chewbacca or something like that. That's what I was looking for, that type of stuff. And I wasn't really paying attention so much to the movie as the scenery, that's because you look at it, like, a certain way. But Jonny, I mean, I know you're close to us in age, but Jonny knows, like, there's something I'm built for a weekly show.
Mm-hmm.
I just down. I did get away from, because of DVRs, I never watch anything when it's on anymore. I used to always be like, it's 8 o'clock, let's watch it. That's gone for me. I'm actually getting rid of cable. I have Hulu Live now.
Cut the cord.
But I'm used to, like, okay, every Thursday night you watch Seinfeld, you watch Cheers, or you watch Cosby Show, whatever was on.
Yeah.
And Fridays was like the goofy sitcoms. Like the family ones and stuff. You would just go from there. But I know that's all gone now. But my kids don't watch TV. My kids go on demand, they search, and they find, whatever they want to watch, and boop, and they watch it. That's what they do.
Or they got a device or the internet.
Yeah. They don't watch, they don't, like, wait for the new one. It's just there. They don't flip channels and, like, here's, Smurfs, let's watch this.
They will never know the urgency and importance of a 48-hour television event, or something that's only going to be on this network for these days, and then there's no on demand. If you miss it, you missed it.
Yes. Well, I remember, like, when they used to have a thing, like, I think they probably still had, but remember as a kid, like, at CBS or something, it would be preempted for a primetime cartoon or special, and that special thing that came up, and it like spun, and it was like rainbow colored, and you knew that something was coming on, and it would be like a cartoon or like The Wizard of Oz or something like that, but it would be at prime time, anything, but you knew, okay, this is
a real
not
deal.
Normal, yeah, because like we always say, like, things like you didn't have anything like that. You had like Saturday mornings were your cartoons, after school or early before school. And I was an early kid, so I never got those. I mean,
yeah,
so
I used
you
to
didn't
get
have
up
that.
I remember waking up. It was channel 56 by me. I don't know what channel would be around here. And I'd get up, and it was just snow on the TV. And at 6 o'clock, the national anthem or Pledge of Allegiance, whatever, would come on with the American flag. And then it says, now your day has begun. Because it went off air. The channels would go off air.
Oh.
And they used to show the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, the old one from the 60s, in the morning, and I used to get up and watch it. I would tape them because I wanted to see Fantastic Four would come on. I didn't know which one I was going to see until it popped up. So sometimes I was stuck with the Galaxy Trio or whatever else was on.
Jabba Jaw.
No, thank you. But what I mean, so I was stuck with that, but I didn't know. And then obviously, even with TV Guide, it would tell you like that was on, but it didn't say which episode.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can like literally see like weeks in advance, like okay, episode 7, season whatever.
With the description and like
we're in an on-demand world now.
Let me ask you this, because you just said this before. When you're watching Haunting of Hill House, you say a benefit for you of watching it all at once is that you absorb more. Is that what you said, or you absorb?
No,
I absorb less because you're just like powering through it. I'm not really taking it in. I'm just feeding myself. Like I'm not chewing. It's like you have the food. You're not enjoying. You're like it's when you're starving and you're just shoving in your mouth. You're not really enjoying.
It's like candy. It's like candy. Ooh, and when you like it so much, you go to the next thing.
You're candy. Just literally shoveling Skittles in your mouth.
As opposed to like a good meal,
which is not a bad thing.
Once a week you take it and you pick it apart and you take your time.
Every Friday you have pizza.
I like the way you put that.
Every Friday night you have pizza. Your cousins come over, you have pizza, and then you have like ice cream, and then you watch like a movie. Friday nights, if that was every single night, you'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm not doing this anymore.
Got you. Where I was going was your interpretation of what you saw. So, since everybody watches everything with a device in their hand, and some networks like AMC encourage you to use like Story Sync, like watch along, and like it's pretty much like VH1 pop-up video in your hand while you're watching something. When you watched Haunting of Hill House, Are you going to the internet after each episode and you're like, oh, I didn't know this, let me ask this, or are you waiting till the series is over? That's what was my question. You said you binged it all at once. Do you know how to interpret? Do you know what's going on? Do you have your own ideas, or are you just searching the internet immediately and saying, well, what is everybody else saying? What does everybody else think?
I'm that type of person where as soon as something comes on, because of where I work, I want to spoil it everything. Because I need to know because I want to know, I want to be as familiar as I can with it.
For shop talk.
For shop talk, mostly.
Podcasts.
And plus because I can't get out there to watch it. This is one thing I kind of stumbled across. I know it got hot like in the fall, and I heard all about it, and then it kind of like went away, and I knew there was like hidden ghosts. There's like 27 ghosts throughout, you can kind of find them. So I was like, okay, cool. But I forgot about it. Like I didn't even forgot it was even called. And then when I saw it come up for recommendations when I was looking at Conjuring, I was like, oh crap, I want to watch this. A lot of times when I go to watch something, I put on something I've already seen because I'm doing something. Like it's usually I'm working from home, like pricing up books or whatever. So I just put on something that I don't need to really necessarily like watch. If I'm watching something new, I don't touch anything. I normally, if I watch a show, as soon as the first episode's over, I go on my phone and I see who all the actors are, if I recognize them, what else they were in, and what the show is based on. I want to know this. But this, I was so hooked on it, I didn't want to know anything about it because I really wanted to enjoy it.
Okay.
Normally, I would have spoiled it for myself and read all about it, the whole history of it, all that stuff.
So you unplugged for that?
I unplugged for that.
Okay.
And it was easy to do because, like I said, my wife will never watch it. I'm watching it late at night. There's nobody around. And I wasn't really at the store much. And it wasn't really a hot topic of the store at the time. So it wasn't like a movie just came out. Like Avengers.
Okay.
That's why when like Avengers comes out, or any of these big movies, I know I can't see it opening night. And I also need to know who's in it because the books are going to jump. So I will find a way, or if you get, I saw it.
Come across a copy that
I
we
will
may
say,
be able to
listen,
send
tell
you.
me what happened. They're like, I'm like, no, tell me what happened. You'll say, okay, Thanos dies, Beta Ray Bill popped up, and he fights Frog Thor. And
oh
then,
my God, that would have been great.
Black Panther puts on the Hulk Buster armor, and it's chaos. That's what I would normally do because I need to know that.
Yeah.
But because it's work, it's like one of those things you don't enjoy it as much, and I think that's why I don't enjoy superhero movies as much because I've already dissected it.
That's interesting. Would you enjoy like baseball movies or football movies?
Yeah. Because
you don't do it for a living.
I'm like Jonny. I enjoy documentaries more than anything now.
And you, Jonny, don't want to watch documentaries about like new dental technology and stuff like that, right?
No,
that's a bad example.
Johnny likes the history of things.
Okay.
I like history.
Johnny is an old soul like me. We like to know, and Johnny watches like ghost things too.
Yeah.
I don't watch. I can't watch Ghost Hunters or something like that. I'll kill myself. But.
Yeah.
I used to watch. I mean, for entertainment, but yeah, I watch like the Science Channel.
If I do watch this stuff you're talking about, like the Ghost Hunters, I like the history of the house. Like I like to know like where the house was built, who built it, who died there,
who lived there.
I don't think there's anything touching my shoulder in the house. I don't care how much that EKG thing is going up and down. That's
if it was you in that dumbwaiter, you'd be flipping out. I know it.
Well, it's a whole different thing because I'm like I'd be like I'd climb up. That's a different thing. That's more of a fear of like what's going on. Like I'm trapped down there type of thing. Or I would just ran to the stairs.
Yeah.
But the thing was there.
I would kick them in the face.
Now if it's a ghost. Woo-woo.
If it's a ghost, it shouldn't be touching me. If it can touch me, I can touch it.
Okay.
If a ghost can scratch me, why can't I scratch it?
Well, there's some things that just can't be explained in this lifetime.
If a ghost is here right now
mm-hmm.
and grabs my neck, can I grab its arm?
Probably
can I
not.
pry its fingers off me?
By laws of ghosts,
If it's grabbing my neck and squeezing my neck tight, I'm looking at you. You're a doctor. Can I rip that finger? I
don't know what ghosts are made of.
You would have to make a call, and I think you know who you
if
need
it's
to
actual
call.
physical, but if it's just
I'm not saying it to a chair.
mental...
I'm like a push a chair.
Yeah,
I'm saying if it actually is touching me.
I don't know.
Ask her where she's from originally.
Did you die in this house?
Just tell her you don't believe in ghosts.
I don't believe in you.
You're not real. Yeah, so I like that. To go back to the binge part, I do like going onto the menu and being like, listen, this is like all you can eat. And I can just go like this. But it's on something that I need to, like, it's certain things. There's certain things that are better
seen. I haven't finished Stranger Things
one episode
season
left.
2. I have like 3.
No, you're stuck on. Did you go to the one where
I didn't get it there yet. No, it's just I haven't had a chance to sit down. I mean,
Yeah.
I like it. It's not like I have any problems with it. I just haven't.
Season 3 comes out in like 2 weeks.
I know, so I got to finish. But it's not, I don't have to watch it then either. I mean, it's like I haven't.
No,
I didn't
you
know.
watch
I didn't
it,
know.
You
I
watch it
know
whenever you want, because it'll be there waiting.
exactly.
For you.
And I don't know the ending either for this past season, so it's like
you can eat when you're hungry. It's gonna be sitting right there. Just feast.
Eat when you're hungry, baby. Stick it in the microwave. That's a wrap.
Well, I think the only thing I binged was when Arrested Development, the first one that was on Netflix.
Yep.
I think that was
but you waited like 15 years for that.
Well, yeah,
was,
because I don't think I even watched this new season yet. So
that's why I think I'm afraid to watch like Breaking Bad and stuff like that, which I haven't watched because I know I'm gonna like it, and I don't have time to watch all of it.
All right, but Breaking Bad was not available to be binged at any point.
No, I know.
Okay, and that sucked real bad.
And it's waiting now for for you. So that's what I'm saying. I never watched it.
Well, that's what Joelle does. Like she was not into. That's my wife. Into Game of Thrones at all. I'm not into it. Whatever.
I have no interest in it.
And then the one time, I don't know why, whatever she did it, and she got like this past beginning of the year before the thing came out, she got into it and she like watched it over like multiple days to see the whole thing, and she loved it. But yeah, you're right. She got into it and just does it. But she does it all the time. Whenever there's a new season, she'll stay up all night watching the whole thing, or Orange is the New Black or whatever. I mean, like, yeah, I can't. I can say, okay, I'm done for now. And
it depends on the show. Sometimes you kind of casually watch a show, that's fine. But like the Haunting of the Hill House, man, that was fun. That was a fun ride.
You could read the book.
No, I'm not reading it.
Shirley Jackson, came out way before. I mean, it's really not. It doesn't have to do with it. From what I get from it,
I don't think it has anything to do with it. I mean, I'm sure the premise is similar. Mm-hmm. They're doing another season of it. I'm assuming it's going to be doing a different family. I'm assuming, right?
Like a True Detective kind of thing, different cast and story. Then it just bears the same name. What is it? It's not really a
sequel. That's a good one that wasn't bingeable.
Which one?
True Detective.
Oh,
first season. Sorry, first season.
Man, that first season.
That was damn good. That was a good season.
You had no idea until like the 8th episode of what really was going on. I love those. I stopped binging anything. I'll tell you what did. I can actually draw the line in the sand and tell you when binging got killed for me. The Marvel series on Netflix. I think Daredevil 1 was one of the first times I had really binged anything because I hadn't gotten into Netflix until late. I was a latecomer to that. And I think when the other 4 came out, the Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist and whatnot, I got so overwhelmed with this pile of episodes to watch. And then I think I started watching Daredevil season 2. And that was supposed to be exciting because, Punisher and that's such a cool addition. And it just became so lame. And, like, I got fried on it so quickly. I didn't even finish Daredevil season 2. And everybody at work or at a comic shop was like, oh, did you watch it? Did you watch this? And I'm, like, envious of their excitement over that they can sit there and do the whole thing. Like, I can't do that anymore unless it's, like, something that I'm, like, totally head over heels in love with.
It becomes almost like work.
It was like work, and it wasn't fun, and it was boring, and I was losing interest. And not that I lose interest in the character. I love the characters. I love the stories. But it was too much. It was like, forget it.
But also, I mean, it's we kind of talked about this before with like the Marvel book movies.
Yeah.
Like I missed the Ant-Man and Wasp when it came out. I eventually saw on the thing, and I'm not going to see Captain Marvel. I saw Endgame, but I'm not excited about Spider-Man. I like what's his face? The guy that plays him. Like, I like them. I don't have a problem with them. I just have no excitement. And I think part of it is just I reached that point where I'm saturated. I read the books. I know all their story points. I know what's going to happen. They're not like for the people. The things now are for the people out there who never experienced these things.
It's the thing. We are not the target market
anymore.
for this
No,
anymore.
we're not. And it shows it. It shows it because when we are a target market.
When they're the target market, we get Watchmen. Nobody
you get like Judge Dredd. You get Judge Dredd.
No, but the problem is, I think they made them better because they actually like because before they used to do like when we weren't the target when they had to do X-Men with the stupid black suits because people can't do it, or Thor because they're aliens. They're not. There's no magic, and and finally they figured out people can get this stuff. It doesn't. You can do these things, and they've transformed, and they make them closer to what the books actually are, and that's why it's kind of like, okay, we know this stuff already, like.
Well, they started doing storytelling that doesn't involve like the characters don't have to tell you every single bit of information. They figured out how to use the surroundings and supporting actors, and visuals to tell the story without Thor having to tell you exactly what his powers are and where he came from. Like, it's unnecessary. And no, you don't want new viewers to have to go read anything before they watch your movie. I understand that. But it also, think about us who are there who, like old timers that have been reading this regurgitated same storyline over and over since the 50s. They don't need to see another Spider-Man origin story, Like, come on now. We know. I think everybody knows what happened to the kid.
But I don't understand, and nobody ever brings this up. The most perfect, iconic movie is the first Superman. They tell his origin in the intro. It shows the kid come down, he crashes, you see him grow little by little, he picks the car up, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe. And then, obviously, the kid's an alien and he has powers. That's all you need to know.
All you need to know.
You don't need, like Watchmen did it at the beginning. They showed what happened to all the heroes and why they were, outlawed and stuff like that. Now they're like, okay, the first 45 minutes is explaining to you why this guy can fly. And it's because he got, a snail bit him on the back of his heel on the third night in September. And that's why he can fly.
And we're going to
show that. They show a snail biting his foot.
Exactly. But then we also have to introduce you to his sweet parental guardian, whoever that may be. We got to set you up with the main nemesis in the movie, and maybe the nemesis' son, who's also going to be a future nemesis. Got to set everything up. So, no, just give me the story. Just go. Just go with it.
The first Crow is great. It goes right into it.
Which one?
The first Crow.
Oh, Crow.
It goes right into it.
Yeah.
And they show little flashbacks, and you figure out what's going on. And that's, it's a pretty deep movie. You know what's going on, but you can figure it out.
Yep.
I mean, they kind of had to do the first Batman, but because they never really.
That was the first time.
Yeah, that was the first time. And they did it on Super Friends. They kind of did it, which is really weird. They did it off kind of thing. You didn't, they didn't show, of course, them getting shot because they couldn't do it at the time.
Yeah.
But that was really the first time they ever showed it. Was the first Batman. But we don't need to. Everybody knows it now, like you said. Unless it's a really obscure person, like the Iron Man thing. Yes, nobody knew Iron Man at the time. Nobody knew that, and that was a huge thing.
It was huge.
Those Marvel guys, nobody knew. They were not. I'm sorry, they were not Superman. They weren't Batman and Wonder Woman. People know those ones. They didn't know those, and that was important. But now it's like, okay, we know it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, they've claimed the throne now. Everybody knows Captain America, what happened to Iron Man, Thor,
All that stuff. Those were all B and kind of C-list characters, especially Iron Man. Iron Man wasn't a B. It might have been like B, maybe. Nobody cared about Iron Man. He was just like Tony Stark.
Drunk rich boy.
Yeah, that's it. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I don't know what else show I'm going to watch next. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Stranger Things, I guess I'll watch.
And as far as non-comics, like when Full House, Redux, or whatever you want to call it, came out.
Fuller House. They dumped, 13 episodes, and, the appeal, like, for someone like me is like, oh, I grew up with that show. I need to watch it all right now, see what happened. And I did, and it was like, I'm glad I got it out of the way for that one, because it's not, I don't need to be turned, my brain doesn't need to be fully turned on to watch that. It's not, it has, recurring themes and storylines and characters, but it's okay if you tune out a little bit, or if you answer the phone while it was on. It's not one where I'm pausing it every 10 seconds. No. It's light, it's fluffy, it's nice. You just kind of have it on.
And it's familiar. You know what's going on.
Yeah, and I watched all 13 episodes of that first Fuller House. I couldn't tell you what happened. I binged it just as fast as I purged it right out of my brain, Literally, when you watch something,
that's a glowing review.
you will binge it and purge it if you watch it quickly and it's not something that you really care about, So I watched it. It was cool. It was funny. The parts that I remember, not memorable. I didn't watch the second season when they did it, So I don't know if binge culture helps or hurts. I think it really is on a case-to-case basis, depending on the property, depending on
it all depends on
who's
what
directing, depending on a bunch of different factors,
It depends on what you're watching.
Yeah. Depends on what time you're watching as well. I will say that. If you leave your binging for after work, after dinner and stuff like that,
Corry,
don't expect to get... Yeah, well,
I wasn't planning on this. I was like, you know what, I'll catch it and I'll just watch it. Well, I didn't know I was going to get hooked like I did. That's why.
But like I said, with you, I have a habit. I'll fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
10:30, 11 o'clock. And I wake up in the middle of the night. So I'll wake up at 3 or 4 and I'll go to bed. And I wake up and Joelle's in the bed watching on the iPad or whatever, still watching the show, and she's been up watching it.
Oh my god!
And I'll just go, okay, and I'll just go and I'll go to sleep. So he's not the only one, but I couldn't do that. I really like. I could be into it, but I'd have to
it's
cut
probably
it
was just this one. I'm sure it was just because of what it was. Like they hook you right away in that show. I know I keep going back to that show.
That show is a good example because that was after my Marvel Draw the Line in the Sand, no more binge watching, and I freaking binge watched that one. So I already lied to you on this podcast because I just remembered. But yeah, that show was worthy of binge watching because as soon as the credits come up, it was like a cliffhanger every time. You're like, oh man, I guess I have to watch another one right now, even though it's 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just one of those shows.
I got to the point where I was timing it because it would the next episode would come on and it would show you like 100 and 60.
You're trying to figure out when this is all over.
And I would see what time it was, so I'm like, oh crap. So I know like it's like 10 o'clock it's starting and it's like 11:02. I'm like, this is gonna end in like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm not even. I can't stop. That was a problem with it. I like instantly. I don't know. It's just the way the show is set up. I mean, I don't know. I loved it.
Well, we could go do it with the comics. You get your monthly book, and you love it and everything, or you can get the trade. And you get everything all at once, you know what I mean? But you missed out on that ride.
Walking Dead is a perfect example. I was never into Walking Dead. I got into Walking Dead in the trades. I think volume 9 or 10 was just coming out when I got into Walking Dead, and I blew through it. I was hooked. And then reading a monthly was hard. Because it was
so hard.
It was when you read it as a trade, it just feels like one thing. Mm-hmm. When you're reading it as issues, it literally just feels like the movie. It stops. It's like there's no beginning, middle, end. It just like stops. You can tell it's cut up. So reading it monthly was not easy.
I don't know if they had 6-issue arcs I doubt it in the running for Walking Dead throughout its entire history. But like I've gone back and read it from the beginning in the trades, and it is like almost like in those early 10 issues, it's 10 trade volumes. It's like almost perfectly written for a cliffhanger at the end of each 6, Yeah. And it was like it just read so good as books.
Yeah.
And I think I got on for issue 55 after you recommended it to me, and that was it only been out like 4 or 5 years at that point. 12 issues a year, right? And once I finally got to monthly, and it's been like 10 years now, it's just I've gotten used to it, but it was brutal. Like waiting 30 days, and earlier in the Walking Dead career, before they were massive rock stars, like sometimes there would be a delay, or like not many, but there was a couple that were like they hurt real bad.
Yeah,
it hurt to know that it was gonna be like 7 weeks until. So I was like, "What? Are you kidding me? I'm done. I'm not buying it anymore. Still buying it." But,
I know.
Yeah,
but a lot of people left. It's not the machine it was.
Yeah. Oh, they've been on now for like the past 5 years. Sometimes they're early. Sometimes there was like 2 issues a month,
Yeah.
And that's cool to do, again, like for people who want instant gratification or want,
But it's still a week, though.
Yeah.
It's still a week. It's not instant. I mean, even if it's weekly, it's still a week. You still have a little bit of like, what's going to happen? Like the only problem is that you can see a book that's solicited. And sometimes it gives it away because of the cover or the creative team changed or
the 2-sentence description that's in the previews magazine.
Well, because you're Walking Dead, we travel north. It's like, what?
I've seen threads on the internet of people discussing just the description that's in the previews magazine for like Walking Dead and the big titles like that. Any little nook, any little hint they get, people will run with and try to figure out what's going to happen next.
Yeah, but there's certain aspects where it helps though. Like, I as a shop owner, I want certain books on the shelf longer than something, but not too long. Like Doomsday Clock, I know it's big, delayed. When it comes out, it's still a big seller, so that's okay. I don't want it on my shelf for 2 years though.
No.
I want it on there for 6 months to a year. So if you have like a nice section devoted to like DK3 or Batman Who Laughs or
Dark Knight Metal.
Metal. Like that. They came out like that was good and had the one shots in there and it was good. It was healthy and it kept up there. So, but issue 4 is coming out. People are still picking up issue 1 off the rack. It's on a back issue where I'm losing a sale because I sell the one in the bin and nobody refilled it. It's still on the shelf and it's still available. The problem is that you have a lot of 1s. Number 2 sells through and you can't get number 2. And people are like, oh, you have 1, 3, 4, and 5. I'm not going to read this. You don't have 2. Like that's what kills you because you don't know how it's going to be. So it's healthy when you have all the issues up there. And it's good, and it sells well. Like we do that right now with Immortal Hulk. With the first 3 trades on the wall, and then the issues right after that are still there. So you can literally pick up the entire series right off. Even if they're second and third printings, you can pick up all the issues right after the trades.
So that's the number 1 like this month, right? Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk has been just destroying things forever.
And you're able to keep all the first couple issues in stock of that, even though it is
the trades. The first 3 trades.
Okay.
No, the first 2 issues are very expensive.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they've done multiple printings of it, but they have like, it's always really good seller if you have like for example, like Gideon Falls. We have the first 2 volumes, and then the issues. I think it's like 1 through 6, and then 7 through 12. So we have like 13, 14, 15 on the wall. So you literally can get everything that's there right now. You know, if they read volume 1, they come in and get volume 2. They go, I'm just going to get the issues. And then next they're hooked on monthlies, which is good. You just have to, you can't do every book, but it has to be certain books.
It's like healthy drug dealing. It's like with comic books. Like we get them in here with the trade, and then we get them coming back monthly.
Yeah, you have to do that because you can't, you want them to be on both aspects. You want guys, you got a lot of guys that come in, they'll buy a handful of books, and they buy like one trade. It's a trade that they're casually reading, like the DC guy, but he likes Spider-Man. So he buys all the DC books, and then he'll buy like the, Grim Hunt Spider-Man book, or like, he'll buy like the first volume of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man because he's like, I just want to read Spider-Man. I don't need to collect it.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. But there's also certain books like Image is very good at giving it like arcs, like end of book 1, which is issue 6 or issue 4. The trade comes out, and you just leave it there, and you let it sell, and then by the time issue 7 comes out, they're now monthly people because they're like, well, I'm not going to wait a year and a half for the next trade.
Yeah.
I'll just buy it when it comes out. Saga's the one that kind of really started doing that, with the breaks on purpose.
Yeah, Saga puts out 12, and then they have their whole, strategy mapped out. It's like the trade comes out 2 months after that, and then they chill for 5 months, and then continue again. I think that
it's going to be 102 issues, I think.
That's a wrap?
Like halfway through.
It's halfway through. So because they want it to be where it's 2 compendiums.
Oh,
it's like 56 issues in each compendium.
I've never heard of something so focused
and
like
it's
that. It's
good because you know what? Even though much people love Saga, at least, it's a good ending, and they're only halfway done, so you still have a long time coming.
And when the ending is coming, there's no surprise. You don't know what it is, but
yeah, it's good like that. When it's like the certain there's a few exceptions to the rule, like Walking Dead, where it just keeps going. I mean, but it makes sense. But there's certain things that come that need to end. Not need to, but it's a nice. Okay, it's healthier. It's like, yeah, I read the first 60 issues of this and I didn't finish it. You want it to be like, okay, this is like what was that? What was that big book by Brubaker last year? There was like Kill or Be Killed.
Kill or Be Killed.
Okay, it was 20 issues, I think.
Okay.
It was perfect because they're like, nope, this is awesome. Because 20 issues is a good, healthy story. It's not like it's 4 issues.
Yeah.
You can still, that's a good, healthy snack right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a donut, but it's like, a bag of chips.
Oh. Okay.
You can keep,
Call this
keep going.
A bag of chips.
You have some sody pop in there.
Nice.
There you go.
Okay.
I don't see you on Wednesdays as much, Joe. Is there a reason for that? Are you just like?
No, I get stuck into something at work, and hasn't my taste is very, very small.
Yeah.
And when there isn't a lot of books that come out that aren't exciting, it's exciting for me to come hang out with you and talk and stuff like that.
Yeah, but once is enough. I don't need
That's actually more of an allure for me to come in than the book sometimes, because
there used to be like a lunchtime guy. You used to come running over and get your books, or sometime before the store early.
So
you'd knock on the door. Yeah.
I'll still come in on a Wednesday before the store opens.
You used to be a regular.
True. I used to also be. I let go of Avengers a couple of years ago, and that was big for me because before then, that would require me to come every single Wednesday. There's a lot of tie-ins. I cared about what everything was going on. When Bendis was writing is what I'm talking about. So I gave a crap about all those Avengers titles. I had like every single Secret Invasion tie-in, every single. It was right when, I guess, when his arc ended or Secret Wars began, the new one, where I kind of dropped off, or Heroes Reborn, or not Heroes Reborn, the Heroic Age is I think when I dropped off right after Bendis left, or when he was trailing off to leave and handed it over to somebody else. It got so boring. There was just so much mundane stuff going on that I can just experience in my regular life that I don't need to read Avengers for,
Yeah.
And then all the Marvel titles started just slipping away from me, and I just got. And again, there's so much of it now. There's so much oversaturation, It's
Saturation?
oversaturation.
Okay.
I got.
Okay, we just made a new word. Saturation.
Saturation. It was so much oversaturation. It became very overwhelming for me to keep up with all that stuff. That's really the truth, though.
Like Johnny, how do you, like, you don't buy as much as you used to. You used to buy. You would always buy. Especially DC, you would never let one go. Now you kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah, but I still buy. I still buy
but
most of the
you're not buying
things
Daredevil right now. You're not buying like.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, you used to buy a lot more than you do now.
You know what?
Buy. Is it because of the time? I know you like to read everything you get, which I don't understand how.
Yeah, well, I'm like 3 weeks behind, but I try to keep up. I mean, no, it's just I'm not gonna. You know what? I've come to the thing where I don't have to. Like, it's okay to have skips.
Yeah.
And if it, like you said, like it just doesn't, like Nightwing, I just don't care about what they're doing. So you know what? Why it's a waste? You know, it's a waste to do it. You know, if I'm getting the books and they're there, and it's like I don't want to read it, and it's a chore to read, then why am I getting it?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. I think I said this before. When you collect, you don't get a trophy if you have all of them.
No, you do not.
Like if you all of a sudden you get the entire run of Fantastic Four. When you get that one missing issue that was just like 402 that you just couldn't find, or whatever, it was just missing forever, and you finally get it. I got it. Nothing happens. You don't get a letter from Marvel.
No,
like,
now you still gotta fill in your other gaps.
I mean, it feels good, but I'm saying like if you
it is a personal achievement.
Yeah, if Nightwing, you skip. Okay, you stopped at issue say 45, say issue 50. Okay, and it's in the 60s right now, and they go to issue 70, and then they stop and they reboot it. When you go in there and you buy the new one because they bring back Dick Grayson and whatever going on, you don't gonna be like, oh well, yeah, and I'm missing. You don't like, I don't need that.
Yeah, well,
it's like Punisher. Like when Punisher died and became like a thing, you can just get rid of it.
But tastes change though. You maybe like in 10 years, Johnny, you might find yourself being like, hey, what happened in that 2 years I didn't read? Maybe I'll go check it out if the trade is on sale at Zapp or something. When I was
collecting, I remember like X Factor and stuff like that when they brought in like Dupe and all them.
Dupe.
I hated it. I'm like, what is this crap? It didn't exist to me. Now, when I go back and look at Allred's art, I'm like, I like this, but I ignored it.
Yeah.
And now when I see like Swamp Thing and like Tomb of Dracula and all the creature books, that art is beautiful, but it wasn't superhero, so I turned my nose up at it, you know. And now I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? But I think my taste might have changed, and also my eyes, you know.
So a good example is when you apply this theory to music is like, I love Megadeth no matter what. There's a couple Megadeth albums that came out in the past 15 years that I don't give a crap about, that I didn't even listen to when they came out, because one of them had just thrown me off so badly that I was just like, I'll stick to the Megadeth that I love, you know. But then, like, you know, some years pass, and I still love the band very, very much, and maybe I've played out their other stuff so much that the albums that I didn't listen to that I thought were crap because of one song that I heard, now, because 10 years have passed, that has become an album, like a new Megadeth album for me that I have not heard. And I'm like I was saying with you, will you go back to Nightwing and read the stuff you haven't? Because essentially that's like unreleased material to you at this point.
Yeah,
so when you go back, you're like, everyone said this sucked, and I thought it might suck. You know what? I have nothing else to listen to or read, and I've conquered this artist or comic book's entire other discography, you know, bibliography, what have you. And I'm going to go back and check it out now and see, was this good or bad? And who knows, maybe you like a couple things. Yeah, no,
it happens all the time. Like, I do that with movies. Sometimes you just don't see it when it comes out. And all of a sudden you see it again. You're like, you first see it. You're like, I can't believe, how did I miss this movie? And sometimes you just miss it. You know, you just, whatever reason, you just didn't see it. But that's also can backfire, because sometimes you'll like it when it's out. And then try to watch it now, because people are like, you never saw this. I'm like, no, you need to go watch this. I'm like, I can't watch that 80s corny movie now for the first time with a 42-year-old. I can't do it, because my 42-year-old brain is going to be like, this is awful. Because if I grew up on it, I kept rewatching it. You're just like, this is just how it is. It's fun. But I can see, like, I can't sit there and watch it for the first time.
But, but sometimes with music, though, it's one of those things, if you hear it enough, sometimes you can kind of like it, even though you don't like same thing. I don't like Rush. I don't like Rush.
Oh, Johnny, no.
That Rush is not good. Listen, he can play very well.
I'm the same way.
They can play very well. Johnny has the hand.
I'm with Johnny on this. I don't like Rush. I will say this. I am sure that it's probably some of the most talented musicians on the planet. It just does not make my ears feel good when I listen to them. I don't like Rush.
But
you're going to hell, bro.
But then on the other day, like it was Tom Sawyer came on, which I know is whatever, and I'm like, okay, I can listen to this.
You broke out your air drum set for that. Yeah.
No, I was just but Joelle made me change it. She's like, no, we don't like Rush. We don't like Rush, and I don't like Rush. Yeah. I can't get.
I was like that forever when I was younger. I was pro Nirvana, so I hated Pearl Jam.
What? You like them both? You could like them both.
I was a kid. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm like, no, that's the wrong team. I don't like them. So now I put on Pearl Jam a lot in the store, and everyone's like, "You're a Pearl Jam fan?" I'm like, "No." But when you put it on, you hear the song because it will play it all over the place. So it makes me think back in high school, and one of my good friends back in the day, he loved Pearl Jam, and I'm like, the song. I'm like, you know what? Like 10's okay, but Versus.
Rips it.
Good. That sounds like they're in my garage.
As the surfers say, Versus shreds, bro.
It comes right out and kicks you right in the nuts.
Dude,
That's a
Animal
good album.
will go right in the beginning.
Yeah, it just goes. I like it.
Awesome.
It's just all. It's almost like when you're holding the bunny or the dog at the door. Like, okay, when the thing opens and it's like, and all of a sudden that door opens and it just goes. That song, that's gone. That is that album, and that's a fun album. I ignored it, and that album wasn't played on the radio much because they played 10 so much. That verse, it felt like a new album to me. I'm like, this is good.
See, that idea of being a fan of a property, not liking a certain aspect of the career, leaving it, and then coming back to it 10 years later, that's the best treat or gift you can give to yourself. Yeah. And you didn't even know you were doing it.
No.
You were just being a hater, and then you come back to it however many years pass, and you're like, oh, I'm glad I did this, because otherwise I wouldn't have had this great day today.
I'm more open-minded now. When I was younger, I was much stubborn. And
You're still pretty stubborn, bro.
Joe. Joseph.
It's all
a lot of people listening to this podcast are really happy right now.
I admit I am very stubborn on certain aspects, but I will admit I am opening up my arms a bit more.
Because with arms wide open.
No, thank you. I don't think so. Thank you. No. But like with music, I'm being a lot more open because I am now noticing like I'm in the store all day. There's certain things I can't play. I love Nine Inch Nails. I can't really play them.
Rage Against the Machine, you love it, can't play.
I can't play Rage. Like, just because I don't want that one song, boom.
Guar, love it, can't play.
Guar's just garbage.
Shut the hell up.
Stop. You can have it, please. Take it with you.
I'm taking it home.
You can take all of it. Speaking of taking it, you need to take those signed Guar books that have been in my store for quite some time. But anyway,
we're going to raffle them off to young kids. All right, go ahead, next.
I always put on safe music. And I was like, oh, why do you always play like Megadeth? Or Metallica, they don't curse. I mean, Metallica does every now and then. Megadeth never curses.
Neither of them really curse, regardless of the aggressive
No, but
music.
then also a live song will come on, and it's like, they curse like crazy. But I'm saying they don't, that's why I put it on. It's a safe thing. I don't have to worry. I don't want to have to worry about what's playing. It's just noise. But I also want it to be comforting noise, but I don't want it to be like, oh, crap, I got to run up front because, her mom and these 3 kids are in there looking at Pokemon cards, and they're like, talking about skinning an animal and F this, F that type of thing.
Who is that? Was it Winona's Brown Beaver? Who is that? That
Primus.
Was Primus, yeah.
So like I don't want that coming on. So I am getting more open to things, and I'm also like, I didn't grow up with music. My kids are. So I am paying attention to what they like. Even though I don't like it, I see how happy they are. And if it's a quirky, weird, goofy, poppy song, I don't care. They like it. I don't care. It makes them happy. And I'll sneak in a song. I'll put on, like, Creed and the Clearwater Revival.
Yeah.
I'll sneak in, like a Doors song or Queen. And Beatles. Like, Beatles easy to get by with because Beatles is everybody likes Beatles.
Yeah.
So I've been sneaking those in, and sometimes they don't even notice. And it's like, okay, this is cool. And then sometimes they're dancing to it. But, I can't sneak in, like, I'm not going to put on Nine Inch Nails for them. If my dad was into music, he would be showing me like the Doors, Zeppelin, Queen. You know what I mean? But he doesn't, so I can't say, "Oh, what do you listen to?" Oh, I listen to like, 9 Inch Nails, like Anthrax. I can't show that to them really. I can't. I have to be careful. I can't say, "Well, you can't." There's no Led Zeppelin song that say you don't listen to. I have to skip 9 Inch Nails songs.
Yeah.
I have to skip certain. I have to skip Marilyn Manson. I can't show them. I'm not going to do that.
What age will you show Isabella Marilyn Manson and 9 Inch Nails?
A teenager.
Teenager?
Yeah, teenager.
It won't have the same impact on her as it did on you or any of us, and she's probably going to think it's lame as hell.
I'm sure it's going to be awful. And I'm sure, I hear some of the lyrics, I'm like, what am I doing? But you were into it when you were a kid. It was fun.
Binging music, another awesome thing.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, like when I discovered Metallica when I was like 10, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and Master Puppets, all in one shot. It was like, oh my god, there's more?
I binge music too because I have to. I can hear a song 1,000 times. And if you say, how does the song go? I can't sing it unless it's playing.
Okay.
Like if you say, here, sing this song now. I'm like, I can't. But if it's playing, I can sing it word for word. You know, one of those things. So if it's a new thing I discover, like I just discovered like White Stripes and Black Keys, I play them over and over and over again because I need to get it into my system.
Sure.
So I just put it on because it's new to me. It's still, even if I heard it like 3 days in a row, it's still new to me. I want to hear it. I want to feel it. I want to know it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, program it into you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Feel it, touch it, pass through your lower intestine.
Oh yeah.
So I need to get it in. So
yeah, I need to get it in.
And then when I'm done with that, I just file it into my catalog, and then it's in there, and I'm good. You know, I've had my fill of it.
Okay.
Because I discovered like Bass Drum of Death, Fiddler, you know, White Stripes, Black Keys, like stuff like that I never would have probably found.
Is this stuff that your daughter brings home from school or somebody else? Like
a lot of it's Dave at the store and whatever's playing on the thing.
All right. So
my daughter listens to stuff I would never listen to.
Does she listen to like girly stuff, or is there like bands that you've never even heard of yet?
My daughter goes to YouTube and types in Eevee Evolutions.
Oh my god.
And it's just clips of songs, and it's all, I don't know who they are, and I know they're like radio songs like now. And you can hear, you know, and then all of a sudden I'll be at Dunkin' Donuts, I'll hear the whole song, like, oh my god, this is that song she likes. And I'll say, oh, this is Ed Sheeran or whatever his name is, or Justin Bieber. I don't know who they are. I mean, I know who they are, but I never heard anything by them.
Yeah.
And it comes up.
And Scarlett's listening to Carole King.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
classics.
Isabella, my daughter, she's 7, so she'll be like, can you put on something that's not so old? Because my good friend Alex Gobo wanted to show her She-Ra. So he put on, because the new show was coming on.
Okay.
So he put on the old one, and right when the intro ended, and they were like just running, she's like, do you have anything that's not so old? Like that's like kind of new? And he like broke his heart. Because she's like, yeah, I'm not watching this. This is like crap.
Animation on that is rough compared to what she's used to.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's actually better than the animation for the new She-Ra, but it's like there. It's not.
It's better looking.
Yes, I mean
it's the same things over and over again.
Yes.
Okay.
You know.
But like the thing, I put DuckTales on.
Nice.
The original ones, and compared to the new ones, actually the new ones are much better, paced better.
I'm sure they are, because you know what it is. I never want to watch the old DuckTales ever again, because I have nothing but wonderful memories of it. Everybody knows the song. The NES game was fantastic, hard but awesome, and I remember the episodes were fun. I don't ever want to watch it because I know I'm going to sit down and watch it and be like, oh my god, this is not good.
Well,
I don't want to ruin it. He-Man got ruined for me, by that way, because I bought all the DVDs and whatever. I put it on. I'm like, I want to watch He-Man, and like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, this is awful, and I love it so much, you know, and it's so bad, and that's why that 2003 series was so good, because it was like had substance and it had storylines, it had you know backstories. It wasn't just like.
I still think Which Call is actually worse though. Transformers. Transformers is just like, because the He-Man is there's the animation is better, and they're limited. They couldn't punch each other. They couldn't do, so it's kind of like, okay, I try to watch the Transformers, and it was just, and it's the animation is worse, and it's just like some of the stories they were looking for like I was just like, oh,
G.I. Joe is tough to watch too.
But some of them are fun, like the Viper one. That's like and the one with the synthoids when Shipwreck's older and stuff. Some of those are actually. Those are some. Yes, they're not. It's not perfect, but I would put it.
Listen,
ahead.
If it's on like at the store and we put it on the TV as the background, I can hear it. That's awesome. I'm not watching it. It's just kind of like, oh, remember this? Watch this is really bad, and you like watch it. I'm not. The three of us are not going to sit down and binge watch.
Yeah, no, you can't.
G.I. Joe.
No.
Because I will. That's not happening. I can't do it.
But like go with the DuckTales thing. Like it could have got better. I mean, like I was trying to watch from the beginning, and it was just the pace was like it was.
You remember too? You were watching it in like 10-year-old eyes too. It's very different.
Oh well, that was later. It was like probably 89 DuckTales. It was late.
I think it was before that.
Let me see. Because Disney
I
Afternoon.
think it was 80.
No, that's way too early. 86.
I didn't say 6. I was going to say 7.
You're coming out.
I'm going to say 87, 88, the max.
The max.
That's my guess on the DuckTales.
Let's see.
When did it come out, Dr. Johnny?
2017.
Yeah.
Sorry. No. 87 to 90.
I told you it was 87. That's what I said, 87. Don't doubt me.
Oh,
Don't doubt me.
I'll doubt you, my friend, and your little dog.
The reason why I know is because I got my first paper in 1988, and it was already on when I started doing it. So I know.
I thought it was later for that.
Well, you're wrong.
No. What was the first
wrong
Disney afternoon show?
What was the first Disney afternoon show?
Technically, it wasn't. It was Disney premiere on Disney afternoon.
It's obviously before DuckTales, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers?
No, that came
was
after.
And so did Tailspin was after that.
That was after that.
Way after.
Yeah, because I wasn't into Tailspin. Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers I remember, so I know it was DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale's, and then Tailspin. Give me a hint. Like
there were animals in it.
Okay, that doesn't.
That's
help
all of
anything.
Disney. It's animals in it. What kind of a hint
It was
is that?
set in sort of like a medieval time.
Oh shoot!
Medieval.
I think I know.
Yeah, they had
Gargoyles?
Huh?
Gargoyles?
No, that was later. They had a fascination with a certain fruit that gave them superpowers.
Gummy bears?
Yep. It was a Saturday morning on ABC, and then when they started Disney Afternoon,
they slide down the tree in the thing, right? Yeah, I remember
Gummy Bears.
Yeah, I remember Gummy Bears. I didn't know it was Disney though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was like the first one, and then when they moved it, they started the Disney Afternoon. That was one of the things before. I think it was before they got the rest of the shows.
Okay. Did you know that, Joe?
I knew he was talking about gummy bears, but I didn't know about sliding down.
Yeah. When you said the easy fruit, I know it was. Yeah. I didn't realize that was Disney though. Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out. I forgot to do it earlier. I wanted to. Our boy Dario. Joe, you know Dario.
He hooks us up with all the free snacks.
Yeah, he takes care of us at ZappCon for snacks. And he listens to all the podcasts, and I appreciate that. And he comes in the store on the weekends. And
Thanks,
he's
Dario.
a super nice guy. He'll find out like, oh, I like Coke. And he brings me cases of Coke.
Nice.
He's just a good guy. He's a keeper, regardless of snacks or not. He's a good guy. He's good people.
Yeah.
Dario, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Standing ovation for Dario.
Wow, we're all sitting.
And we're going to finish up. So you got anything else to finish off with this show? You got any shout-outs or any complaints? Or
No. You know, there's one thing we didn't discuss real quick, and this is like a cool exception to binging, or the rules of binging, or whatever. Netflix Black Mirror, you know, a descendant of, like, you know, Tales from the Crypt, like the anthology idea. So they don't have much infrequent and less episodes. Like this season was only 3 episodes, you know, but previous ones have been like 6 or 5 or 7 episodes, what have you. That's a show where all the episodes are dumped on you at once, and there is no need to watch all of them because none of them are connected at all. It's just an anthology series with the same under the banner of Black Mirror.
Okay.
Just like
it's a different story each time.
Yeah, different story every time, just like the Crypt, you know, and. They're
Is
all
there
really captivating.
Is there like a crypt
There is
keeper?
no crypt keeper. I mean, there's some recurring elements in the episodes. You will see things that you've seen in other episodes, not necessarily actors or things like that, but just elements like set design and maybe one character here and there, or items from an episode in another. That frequently happens. But you need no knowledge of any prior episodes. You can just dig in wherever and say, "Wow, that was a messed up hour of television that I just watched," and then. It's kind of like a come back to it whenever, and another episode of Black Mirror. I didn't watch this one yet. All right, let's check it out, you know? And could be suspenseful, could be cheese. But there was no pressure or, you know, any sense of urgency to watch all of them because it's unnecessary, you know? I like that idea. Johnny?
You probably know this. I don't know what, not station, whatever it is that comes on.
Bill and Ted's coming back, bro.
It's a horror one, but they do it it's each holiday. They do it's themed on the holiday of that month, and it just comes out once in a month, and I forget the name of the series.
What is that?
I don't know. I remember reading about it, and it's cool. Like, they have, depending on whatever month it is, that's what it's sort of based on.
That sounds cool.
But I can't remember what it was. I thought you would know what it was, and that's definitely not a bit, they come out that, whatever that month is.
What network is that, you know?
It's one of, I don't know. I don't think it's Netflix. I don't know. I mean, somebody's out there is probably going to say, oh, it's this, you idiot.
Let us know if you know, please. Based off Dr. Johnny's description, which
I'm sure there's a lot of things that, a little off the thing, I was watching, one of the things I was watching, what do you call it?
Videos of Corry growing up.
Yes. One of the ones, like it was James and Mike, they were playing Goonies, too. Okay. Which isn't a great...
What's James and Mike?
They're the video games, the angry video game nerd. No. They play video games. It's not that one. They actually plays every Monday.
It's called James and Mike?
James and Mike Mondays. It's Cinemasker is a thing. Shout out, whatever. But they play.
I just don't know what it is.
But yeah, but they play video games. Like one is the angry video game. He plays a character and he does bad games. But they do different things.
I've heard the angry video game one. But.
So this is where he's not playing. They just play different games and do whatever, and they try different things, whatever. So the one they were watching this, they were playing this game, and it was funny. You get keys, but when you die, like when you have to continue, you lose all the keys. So it said there was a key and then there was a number. And everybody was saying, but they couldn't figure out that was number for that. But everybody, so I was scrolling down, and it was just hilarious because everybody on the thing was just like, it says it right there. You're like, it was like hilarious because everybody's screaming. I'm sure it's the same thing people say to us, like, don't you know what you're doing? You know what I mean? Like,
sometimes it's just right in front of you. Just
like,
you know.
And it's just like, you know, so that's where they're probably yelling at us saying, no, it's that show. How do you not know it's that show? And I apologize for that.
I never heard of that show. It sounds interesting.
Tell us about it if anybody that's listening knows what he's talking about, please.
Or tell Corry when you come into the store and say, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe Dario knows.
Maybe he does. Let us know, bro.
Let us know. There you go. And I'm not as stubborn as you think I am.
Is that your final thought of the day?
Yeah, because I want people to know that I am set in my ways.
That is a clever way of saying I'm stubborn.
On certain things.
Yeah, okay.
But I will be open-minded to things that I am not familiar with.
All right.
Okay, so like movies and shows and stuff like that, I will kind of budge, but if I don't like a certain premise or a certain genre or show, it doesn't matter what it is.
He'll give a thumbs down.
Thumbs down. I don't like it. It's not for me. Not that it's bad, it's just not for me. The only thing I will not change my stance on, ever, is food.
Okay.
Okay? There's no stubbornness. I just don't like it.
Any food.
So I don't care what it is. I went to hibachi the other night. And everybody's like, oh my God, you go to hibachi? I'm like, yeah. How did you eat that? I'm like,
yeah, what did you eat?
They make the food right in front of me. I can tell them yes or no. So when they bring out the rice, they go, don't put anything in it. They go, okay, he just pushes mine to the side. There's no like, oh, can you send it back? He's making it in front of me. He's a personal chef in front of me. I don't like that. Don't put it in there. I'm allergic to this. I just tell them I have allergies. They don't make it. It's not that hard. It's easy.
The Corry Brown loophole at hibachi. I'm going to use that next time.
Yeah, so you have allergies. If you say you don't like it, they're like,
no, you're going to have it anyway.
Say I'm allergic to something in there. That's all. I'm allergic to everything. And you're done. There you go. There you have it. See?
Fantastic.
That's it.
All right.
That was a Zapp Comics Radio podcast. We of course, are brought to you by Zapp Comics. We are powered by Libsyn and powered from these gentlemen here. Johnny you talked a little bit tonight, but you took some time off and you came back. You did. You were quiet. You get a chirp.
What are you talking?
Johnny did great tonight.
I know, but at the beginning, if you listen to this again, which I know you won't,
well, because you dominate. It's always the
same. You're freaking dominated, bro. You bully.
We're just talking. We're listening.
You stubborn bully.
You don't let us talk.
What do you mean I don't let you talk?
Well,
How dare
it's
you?
not the thing. You don't let us talk, but you're talking, so it's not going to be rude and interrupt.
Okay, wait. First you said I was dominating, and then you say I'm bullying, and then you say, oh no, it's not that. We're just letting you talk. Which one is it?
Let's knock them out.
All three.
Fantastic.
So you guys want to sign off for me then? So I dominate. When you want to finish this?
This is stubborn Corry Brown saying, see you on Wednesday, fam. That you would never say that to
No,
anybody.
that's not me at all. I don't say that. I don't say that at all. I always say, see you guys at the shop. Which
always a pleasure. That's what you always say.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
I mean it this time.
I know you mean it.
I got to give credit to Dave, who works for us.
Yeah.
Dave Potosnak. He always calls the store the shop.
Yeah.
I never did. I always said at the store. I now say shop because of him.
Good.
I never used to say shop. So, David, that's for you. He's never going to listen to this anyway. When he edits it, he might listen to it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's another fun fact. Nobody who is connected to Zapp listens to Zapp stuff, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. That's pretty stubborn of them, I would say. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. I know
Johnny
you're hard
Knoll,
workers.
Joe Ott, this is Corry Brown from Zapp Comics Radio Podcast, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Zapp Comics Radio Podcast. Zapp Comics Radio Podcast. Zapp Comics Radio Podcast. Zapp Comics Radio Podcast. Comics Radio